I'm Josh with Skid Pro. Today we're going to take a look at our heavy-duty snowblower. Well, I tell you, being from Minnesota, if there's one thing we should know, it's cold and snow, and I hope snow blowers. This is one attachment we're very, very proud of. One of our signature attachments, one that we feel is heads and tails above any other blower out there on the market. Let's take a little bit of time and kind of break down why we think the small differences, what make it better, and what it means to you as the operator. The first thing I like to look at when it comes to an attachment is weight. Weight and strength. How much steel. I always tell guys this is an old-fashioned snowblower. This is built how the guys did in Minnesota many years ago. We haven't cheapened up and cut back the sides. We don't run a lighter auger spiral like a lot of the competition. So where does that really come in? Of course, we got the frame. The back of the loader, the attach plate connection to the main frame body, that's all built very heavy. There'll be plenty of power, plenty of pushing on those bigger loaders. We want to make sure that's strong. Second, of course, we got the hood, the high intake height. We run very wide profile. We actually fully cover that front auger. That is absolutely critical. There's other companies out there that have cut this design way back to cheapen it up. They lead with the auger. They'd like to tell you, well, it's because we want the auger to chew up the snow first. Well, my reply is, so do we. The difference is we bring those side plates up to cover that auger. You'd have to convince me that these thin 3/8 inch side plates are just going to push a ton of snow. We all know they're not. They're going to cut through snow, even hard-packed snow, like a knife through butter. So by running that full side plate, we protect that auger. The other companies out there, they'll run and they hit a curb stop or a dip or a gutter or anything. They're going to hit it with that auger first. That's the last thing I want to do. Yeah, the auger's pressure relief. We have a motor, no shear pins. It's pressure relief. But why would I want to test that if I don't have to? That motor or that auger is still spinning. That's going to smack that curb stop hard, and you're still going to be prone to damaging that auger. So the wide side plates is one of the key things that we do. Next, I want to look at the auger itself. A lot of the competition out there, you'll see a lighter auger, and they stretch out that spiral. We compact it. We have more spirals per 7 foot than any other blower out there. It's all a tight web, and not only a heavy square tubing as a core with an extra thick sidewall. We run a 1/4 inch on all the auger spiral and on the gussets. Significantly heavier than the rest of the competition. Another small detail many companies overlook is the back pressure plate. Yeah, it takes a little effort. There's a little cost in steel and labor. But it's one of the aspects that make our blower just that little bit better performance. That back pressure plate creates almost a vacuum, allowing you to throw more snow further. It's a performance enhancer, and we think it's important to have on our blowers. We also have a bolt-on replaceable steel cutting edge. It's actually high carbon steel. It lasts a very long time. A lot of my customers have it 4 or 5 years and have never replaced that cutting edge. Another absolutely critical area is the fan, also called the impeller. That's got to be strong. That's the heart of the system. A lot of companies get by with 7-gauge steel. That's a little under a 1/4 inch. We run 3/8 inch paddles. They're 9.5 inches wide and 5.5 inches deep. We got a curve hook to them, and they're all gusseted by 3/8 inch on the backside of every impeller as well. The last key area from a weight and strength standpoint is the chute and the deflector. This is an easy place to skimp, but we don't. We run, it's an extra wide chute. It's very heavy at the base. The deflector is also oversized to be able to direct that snow exactly where the operator wants. So when you add all those pieces separately together, what do you get? Well, you get the heaviest built blower in the industry. Our 72-inch standard flow snowblower weighs almost 900 pounds operating weight. So we've got one of the heaviest blowers in the industry. Now let's look into the details of operation and see how they help the end user. First and foremost, no chain and sprockets. Our augers are completely hydraulic driven. That means we've got an Eaton Charlin motor on the fan. We've got an Eaton Charlin motor right up front on the auger. A lot of competition will run chain and sprocket. It's a maintenance item. It's a greasable item. You have to lubricate the chain. The chain breaks. It's usually dark. It's cold. You're buried in snow. It's just a bad idea. Ours is completely free of that. Fully direct drive, auger, fan. The only greasable point we have is the offside bearing from the direct drive motor. We got to grease that daily, but that is the only grease work and the only maintenance on the entire snowblower. Besides the direct drive on the auger and the fan, we also have direct drive on the chute rotation and a hydraulic cylinder on the deflector. That means every single function on this blower is fully direct hydraulic. The big difference is that with direct drive, I've got reliability, I've got longevity, and I've got lots of torque. What's the issue with running a blower? You blow snow, you generate heat, it melts, we have freeze up. Chute freeze up is a huge concern. Never once have I had a customer call in and tell me they've had our chute freeze up. Why? A couple reasons. First, we run the direct drive like we talked about. That direct drive motor engages right into the teeth on this chute and spins it. Lots of torque. It can bust free of the freeze and ice buildup. Second, we run a Teflon bushing against all moving parts on the chute rotation. That's a little added feature that goes a long way in preventing chute freeze up. And last, we run direct hydraulic control of the deflector. That gives good, strong deflector adjustment, all hydraulically. That's one area we just won't compromise. We could make it cheaper, but we absolutely refuse to, because in the end of the day, if you save a few $100s, it's not going to mean anything if you're freezing up your chute constantly in the winter and having all kinds of issues. Another really neat feature we have on our blower that no one else has, 4 adjustable skid shoes. We've got skid side runners on each of the ends, and then we still have rear skid shoes in back on each side. Both of the skid shoes are fully adjustable, up or down for a more aggressive close cut, or for more space so you're running on gravel to keep the gravel down. We talked earlier about the long profile, the long side plates. That's where these skid shoes really come in. So I have that very long side. It's very difficult for me to get too aggressive and put that blower in too deep, put too much down pressure on. You can easily do it, but this skid shoe prevents that. And I know a lot of the snow contractors or private homeowners are using this on an asphalt driveway. They can't afford to get too aggressive and rip up the driveway, gouge, or even get down and get a bunch of gravel into that snowblower. These skid runners really help. Some of those competitors that cut the edge way back and don't have any skid shoes, it's very easy to gouge in and be too aggressive when blowing snow. It can cause a lot of problems with running gravel through the blower, but also hurting the surfaces that you're snow blowing. Another one of the components I really like on the rear skid shoes, we don't have the traditional snowplow skid shoes, which require shimming and washers up and down. Why? Because you have to get out of the cab then if you're going to make those adjustments. The whole point of a heated cab in the middle of winter and blowing snow is to not leave your cab. So that's what we want to help you do. So our rear skid shoes are fully curved. That radius allows us to rock back and still keep the skid shoe on the ground, yet use our bucket tilt to raise that cutting edge up off the ground. And by doing that, we keep the gravel where it's supposed to be, We compact a layer of snow over the top. We're blowing the large majority of the snow, and we're getting a nice snow base to cover up that gravel, and again, not run that through the snowblower. These radius skid shoes are 8 inches long and 3 inches wide, giving you an extra large footprint and better flotation. When you couple that with the side skid runners that are 1.5 inches wide and almost 20 inches long, you have more skid shoe flotation than any other snowblower on the market. Another detail that we don't overlook is the valve block. So here's the valve block cover. Take out 2 Allen bolts, slide it right out. And there's where we have the valve block, all the protected hose routing, and the solenoids. We also have easy access to the solenoids right from the outside without removing the valve block cover. That valve block cover is just another added protection, keeping snow and a misstep causing you downtime. In the end, we've got a nice powder coat finish that's going to last longer and be in better condition, keeping your blower free from the elements. If you have any questions about this or any other Skid Pro product, call the Product Gurus at 877-378-4642 or visit us online at www.skidpro.com.